Hi, this is Elsa P. back with part 3 of my series on the Saturn Return. You can catch up by clicking the link below. Yesterday I told you about my grandfather Henry, who was he had already achieved at the time his 28 and a half when the Saturn Return came along, but he realized he was on top of the wrong mountain. He had climbed someone else's mountain, so he had to start at the bottom, and I had a similar experience. Just like my grandfather Henry, I started at the bottom. I was actually homeless when I was 15 years old, and at the time of my Saturn Return, I was working for Frito-Lay, and I was their #1 salesperson in my state. I was probably the #1 salesperson in the country because my sales were double the #2 guy. I was just that far out ahead, and I was, earning a lot of money. I was out earning my engineer husband. I'd read some statistics, and I was in the top 3% of women, as far as my income went at that time. So, it looks like I'm doing pretty good. However, I was unhappy. I was happy for a long time, but I became unhappy at the time of my Saturn Return, and this is the pressure that I described. It's like I didn't want to do this anymore. Everybody thought I should do this, but I didn't want to do this anymore. And people are asking on the discussion that kicked off a series of videos, how do you know? I'll tell you how you know when you're in the wrong, when you're going in the right place, because people will say things to you, information will come to you, and if you're acting out of fear, this is. If you make decisions out of fear, these are wrong decisions. You have to face your fear. So when I started making noise about leaving this job, the #2 in the state guy, I happened to work with him, and he said to me, Elsa, don't quit. Are you crazy? You're never going to get a job this good again. And I said, no. I said, that's you. My infinite rudeness. But, he had been there 20 years, and, I wasn't him. He was older than me. I could make a new start or whatever. What I wound up doing is becoming an astrologer, So, I'm really going off to join the circus like my grandfather. So, there were other indications, I was so happy at my job, and I cared deeply about what I was doing, and I didn't care anymore. I just decided I didn't care about chips anymore, and of all things, my knees. I started to have trouble with my knees, and the doctor told me, if you keep doing this, you're going to be crippled. How's that? So you say, even though I'm making all this money, and there's fear that I'll never make this money again, I gotta pick a thing here. And I was just fascinated with astrology. Astrology was the thing, and so that's the pick I made. I don't regret it. Just like my grandfather Henry, they all think he's crazy. Me too. We don't care. We're happy. Can you tell? This is Elsa P at elsaelsa.com. See ya.